So if you're clicking on this video, that's probably because you're here for one thing and one thing only, and that's because we just got back in Kmart and we bought all of the Kmart PC gaming stuff, and basically this video is going to be the ultimate PC RGB Kmart gaming setup, and we're going to show you how much it all cost. Now, just to give some context about the reason why I decided to make this video is, I think it was about a year ago, Linus from Linus Tech Tips made a video which was called the ultimate Amazon basics gaming setup or something, where he got all of the Amazon equivalents of like gaming mice and keyboards, headsets, and essentially built an entire setup around, I guess, all of the products from Amazon. And now in Australia, we don't necessarily have all of the same particular products from Amazon. We have a good assortment, but I know that Kmart is definitely something that everyone here in Australia absolutely has and absolutely loves. And so when I was going through Kmart, and I've been hearing rumors about their gaming stuff, and then I saw like the whole thing just kitted out left to right with all of this different gaming stuff, I thought this was a really cool, I guess, potential video opportunity, because first of all, I know that a lot of people coming up towards Christmas time, everyone's been spending a lot more time inside, especially kids during the school holidays. I mean, that might be changing now, but even so, there are still a lot of kids that are going to be getting consoles and computers for Christmas, and you need obviously some sort of peripheral or accessory to game with those particular devices, and those devices are already quite expensive, and so to splash out a lot of extra money on the peripherals is a bit of a luxury for some people. So the Kmart stuff, I think, is a really good bargain, a really good value option that hopefully, I mean, I haven't touched any of this stuff yet, will give your child, your teenage son or daughter, or whoever it might be in your family, friends and family, a really cool little extra something for their gaming room. Maybe they want to get into streaming, maybe they just want to have something a bit better than what come with their PC from HP or whatever it is. So I think this is just a really cool thing that Kmart is doing, getting a bit more involved into the gaming market. I remember when I I remember when I got my first Nintendo when I was a little kid, and that was actually from a Kmart, when Kmart's were the only places that sold gaming stuff, and then JB Hi-Fi and all these other companies came around and sort of took that market away from them. But now Kmart is coming back with some really cool products for a really, really cool price, and so I just wanted to talk about that just for a second, just to give you guys a bit of context about this video, and I really do hope you guys enjoy it. So if you did like this video, chuck it a like, maybe consider getting subscribed, because this is a two-part series. Part one is just the baller version, and then part two is kind of a continuation, but it's the basics version, and you'll be able to see how they both perform. Okay, so we bought 9 items in total. Basically what we've got is a ultimate RGB most expensive option, and then we've got the same thing, just the most basic version, because actually Kmart's pretty cool, and they have the more expensive option, but then they have the more basic option. I mean, both of these options, considering what you're getting, I think is actually still quite affordable. So first of all, the 5 items, the RGB baller version, I guess, we've got a large mouse pad RGB for 25 bucks, headphone stand RGB with a wireless Qi charger for another 25, the gaming keyboard, mechanical gaming keyboard RGB for 35, gaming RGB headset 7.1 surround for 39, and a RGB gaming mouse with a high DPI sensitivity of $39. So that comes to 163 bucks for 5 items, which is pretty awesome. The headphone stand holder, not necessarily a must buy, but I mean, this is the ultimate Kmart gaming one, so we couldn't leave that out. Then for the basic version, which is just 4 items, I didn't include the RGB headphone stand in this, so you can obviously throw that in if you want to. But for the most basic, you've got a still decent corded USB gaming mouse for 15 bucks, an RGB mouse pad, just a smaller version for 16, a gaming headset stereo with built-in mic for 25, and then a RGB, I guess, membrane keyboard for 25 as well. So that comes to $81. So it's essentially $81 for the basic version, or $163 for the, no compromises baller gaming Kmart RGB setup. So let's get everything out of the box, and then we'll go and we'll set it up, and then we'll actually see how this stuff performs. Okay, so I've just come in and basically rushed everything and plugged it all in just to show you guys how it all looks. everything just basically plugs in by USB, so it's really simple. Obviously, this is all connected to a PC, which has lots of different USB ports. If you're going to do a console, I think you might need to get like a USB hub or something like that. But first impressions, I actually think it looks really cool. Both Alexandra and I come in and we're like, wow, this is actually a pretty cool setup for like $160. The mouse pad's got this like, you know, little LED trim going all the way around. Actually, the mouse slides really nicely on it as well. You've got some RGB elements on the mouse. The mouse is actually pretty cool as well. I don't know if you saw it in the B-roll, I guess, of the unboxing, but you can actually take off the side cover here and put on the bigger one, which is what I'm using, or you can leave it with the smaller one, which comes included in the box. But this is a 16,000 DPI sensitivity mouse. You've got your DPI controls. You know, you can cycle through different RGB modes with the little LED lighting indicator. Nice little scroll wheel with a middle mouse click as well. You've got left and right side buttons on the side there, plus another button as well for, like, you know, you can map that to whatever you want it to be. And then something that's a little bit of a cool surprise is you've got a little cover here, and if I take that off, let me just see if I can get this off in the shot. But basically under here there is some weights, and I cannot get it off for the life of me. But there are some little weights in here. So these weights will, you know, let you adjust obviously the weight of the mouse and how it feels. And I think, you know, for the fact that this mouse I think costs $39 is pretty awesome. So overall, like, we're in a game at the moment, and everything just feels really, really nice and responsive. No real issues here at all. You know, for an adult size hand, it's quite good, but you can make it a little bit smaller by changing that plate. The keyboard, I mean, you can probably hear it. It's got a blue switch. I mean, that's the color that's on here. So there is definitely, you know, a little tactile bump and then a click when it goes all the way down. So it's not too bad. It feels definitely much nicer than a membrane keyboard. You've got your function row keys up the top. You've got your, you know, your number pad key on the side here. Very, very simple. You know, a lot of deck flex though. Like, it isn't, you know, a solid keyboard at all. It's quite, you know, flimsy and cheap. But once it's on a desk, you know, and you've got your feet set up, you're on your mouse pad, it's actually surprisingly quite nice. You've got your little, I guess, LED for the RGB, I guess the mode switcher. So if you want to tap that, you know, you can cycle through some different modes here, which is pretty cool that you get all of these kind of cool modes included on the keyboard. You know, again, for the price point that you're looking at, it is actually really cool value. So now let's have a look at these headphones. First impressions, the actual ear cups feel quite nice and soft and plush. The headband's got a bit of, I guess, you know, cushioning in there as well. And then basically when you want to adjust the length, when it goes onto your head, they will just sort of pull out. There's like a little elastic sort of pulley mechanism there. So that's quite cool. The microphone here pulls out and pushes back in, so you can reach around and put that in front of your mouth, so when you're gaming, people can actually hear you properly. So for the fact that you get a decent pair of headphones like this with some, you know, green LEDs on there, a little built-in microphone, 7.1 surround sound, it's actually pretty cool value. You've got an inline control here as well, so you can actually go ahead and, you know, adjust volume and all that kind of stuff, turn your mic on and off, and you've got a really, really nice long braided cable, which I think is around about 3 meters in length. So if you're sitting all the way back on your couch, maybe from your console, you're definitely going to have plenty of length there. So now, in terms of comfort, like, these are sitting on my ears, kind of over the ears, no problems at all. The headband's not digging in or anything like that. So these are actually a very, very appealing pair of headphones for the price. The microphone, I'll just turn that around. So now what you're actually hearing is, I guess, all of the audio or all of my voice being recorded from this built-in microphone, so that way you can get a bit of an idea on how the microphone sounds. I think for just gaming and, you know, general use, consuming media, watching videos, listening to music, I think it would do the job. So let's just quickly play a song. So we're currently listening to a song at about 50% volume. We're going to turn it all the way up to the max and just see if there's any distortion or anything like that, because usually with cheap headphones they sound okay at the low end, but when you boost it all the way up they get really bad. So all the way up. So I don't know if that come across in the video with my reaction or anything like that, but there was absolutely no distortion at the high end. There was no distortion in any of the bass. I could hear the vocals perfectly. All of those little, electronic sounds that were all coming through, all actually sounding really, really nice. So these, I think, are actually a very, very good pair of headphones, especially for the price. Now the last part, which is the part that is something that I don't consider to be a must buy, but it's definitely a nice to have, and I think it's a cool way of tying everything together, is this awesome little RGB headphone stand. And it's not just a headphone stand, it also includes a Qi charger as well. So, when you're finished with your headphones, you want to take them off, you can put them on here. This part here, the actual rod that holds the headphones up, is actually made by a piece of metal, which is actually quite nice. You've got a base here, obviously, for your phone to go onto, and then you've got this RGB, LED that goes around the side. It's just sort of cycling through in that rainbow pattern, and then it just connects by USB. You can't change the pattern at all from what I believe. Oh no, you actually can. There is a T on the top that you can tap, which is touch sensitive, which is pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that. So cycle through the colors. And then if you want to grab your phone, iPhone 11 here, chuck it on. You can see that's wirelessly charging now. So while you're gaming, you've got everything synced up with the RGB. You chuck your phone on there, and then when you're done, you can put your headphones back as well. So I think this is not like I said to be a must buy, but I think it's definitely something that's going to be a cool addition to this whole setup. So now we're at the end of the video, and I can finally give you my final thoughts and conclusion. Basically let you know whether or not you should consider going to Kmart and actually buying some of this gaming stuff that they're selling right now. And personally, like all of these particular products, like the keyboard, the mouse pad, headphones, and all that kind of stuff, they all have their little issues. You might not like the plastic, or the keyboard could be potentially too loud. The mouse pad might not be wide enough. The headphone stand might not be heavy enough. But I think when you consider the value, $163, what you actually get as a final product, I don't think anyone can really say, or anyone would really say to you if they got it as a gift or as a present or even as a starting place before moving on to some of those more expensive brands, that they would have any issues. The keyboard works perfectly fine. The keys feel fine. Definitely a little bit louder, a little bit clunky sometimes compared to some of the more refined keyboard companies that are out there. But again, you're comparing a $35, $50 keyboard, whatever it was, to something that might cost, triple that price. Same goes for the headphones. The feel, the fit, the finish, everything is, I guess, representative of the price. The microphone, actually, I think the microphone really surprised me. That sounds really good. It would be nice if the actual software that they included in the box that comes on a little CD, don't think anyone has CD-ROMs these days, they're definitely on the way out, but it would be good if they could include the software in a USB version or even a downloadable version in the future. That's just something that Kmart needs to sort of consider when they're selling these products. The mouse tracks perfectly fine. Really cool that they give you adjustable weights and a different side piece there to make it either I guess the size you would have for a normal person or maybe someone with a bigger hand. So that's really cool, really comfortable, really good sensor considering again the price. And then the mouse pad and the little I guess headphone holder with Qi charger. I think those two particular things kind of just tie this whole package up really, really nicely when everything is turned on with all of the RGB turned on. You're gaming in your room, you're a teenager, you're a kid, you're playing some Fortnite or some Call of Duty or whatever it is, you're just vibing out in your own little space with all these little rainbow lights going on everywhere. I think it is actually really, really cool, and I would have been completely envious of the child or the friend who had this in their house back when I was 12, 13, 14. So before you go out and you spend $150 on a mouse and a $200 keyboard, maybe consider getting something like this to make the person a bit more, appreciative of what they have now, and then they can see the benefits in the quality and the devices as time goes on. That's personally how my life has been. I've always started at the entry level, gotten as far as I can get with it, and then gone, okay, I'm going to upgrade to the next thing, be it a keyboard or a mouse or a headphone or something like that. So definitely go and get it. I don't have anything negative to say. Like I said, it all works perfectly fine. If you have any comments, questions, queries, feedback, whatever it might be, thoughts even, let me know in the comments section. I want to know from you guys whether or not you would consider this kind of stuff. And I guess that's really pretty much it. Now that you're into this video, make sure to check out part 2, which will be coming, I guess, the next day. There's lots of videos that you can check out. I'll leave playlists up in the corner so you can check those out for all the other products that I've reviewed. But other than that, thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.